Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you an extremely powerful shield that I think every Spellshot and Spore Warden who likes to shoot their guns should try. There's some really awesome synergies between Spellshot and Spore Warden with these shields, but we're going to be going over some damage math because there is a quest reward involved in this. Shout out to Scholar for telling me about this quest reward, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys the cool synergies. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. Alrighty, so the shield and multiple shields, because one of these is a quest reward, and then called the Dusa's Visage, and then we're going to be talking about regular amp shields. So that's what this video is about today in Wonderlands, because I haven't seen anybody talking about amp shields yet, and these were some of my favorite shields in Borderlands 3. Now, the Dusa's Visage is a very interesting quest reward. The only problem with this, with this ward is that it cannot get enchanted at all, which is very unfortunate. But there are just the regular amp shields. You can get up to 3 amp rolls on a purple ward. I keep saying shield, which will give you 100% bonus amp damage. Or, there are certain legendary wards as well that can roll charges on them. Like, for example, my Cursed Wit has an absorb charge. This could get an amp charge instead of absorb. Well, I don't know if Pain Goblin wards can. Or like this Shamwai, for example, has a capacity and a health roll. This could get double amp on it for 50% bonus amp on the Shamwai. Which actually could be pretty cool for some of those sticky Torg sticky builds. But yeah, we're really just going to go over some basic damage testing with these amp shields to how to use them the best. And then I have an insane combo for Spellshot and an insane combo for Spore Warden. These two classes in particular, I think are going to be able to use amp wards the best. I keep wanting to say shield. So let's go ahead and just get straight into it. So the Dusa's Visage, let me pull up the loot sheet real quick. The Dusa's Visage is a quest reward from Of Curse and Claw in the Drowned Abyss. So if you've already completed that quest, then you can go ahead and vendor farm for this. And what's awesome is it always comes with the same rolls because it's a quest reward. And let's just go ahead and talk about what this ward does in particular. And then go ahead and show you guys some damage testing because this ward is very, very cool. And I will explain that why as we go over the damage testing. So what this says is while ward is full, gunshots drain 25% of your ward for 150% gun damage as frost damage. Now, let's just go ahead and just pull up the damage testing because the way that this is calculated is very, very interesting. So I have this live wire here. And my amp is ready, so we're gonna just shoot it twice, one with amp. Oh, am I on burst? All right. Bad test, let's do it again, All right, let's wait for our ward to refill. Okay, there we go, you can see both numbers. It's actually the 194, these are crits. So it's 408 as cryo damage, and then 194 is the regular live wire shot. Keep in mind, I have no skill points. No myth rank, and I'm on balanced because the other difficulties mess with your damage. So I like to do testing on balanced. But let's go ahead and just write these numbers down. So 194 is the regular shock live wire damage, and then 408 is the amped frost damage. And that's what's really cool about this ward is it turns your damage into frost. And let me go ahead and explain why. So first things first, it gives you a bonus 150% damage. And if we simply do 408 over 194, you're going to see that it shows that we're only getting a 2.1 multiplier. We should be getting a 2.5 multiplier because that's how 150 is represented. It's 1 plus 1.5, which is 2.5. But we're not getting that. And that's because it's turning our full damage from shock into frost. And let me explain what I mean by that. So we're going to take our shock damage, which was 194, and multiply that by 2.5, which shows we should be getting 485 damage. But it's converting all of the damage into frost. And this is why this ward is insane. And let me explain what that means. So what we're going to do is we were shooting a flesh target. So we have to convert shock to flesh to cryo to flesh. So we're going to take the 485, divide by 0.95 because that's shock to flesh. That gives us 510, and then multiply by 0.8, which is going to give us 408. And that's where we got our 408 from. So you can see that it's actually converting the full damage of the gun itself from shock to frost. And what is so insane about this is you can use non-elemental weapons. For example, the Rain of Arrows, and I am making a build with this. This is just like, the showcase. The Rain of Arrows is a fully non-elemental weapon, but when you shoot this amped by the Dusa's Visage, it's going to turn it all into frost damage, which now we can go ahead and apply bonus frost damage, bonus elemental damage, and it's just very, very cool. Now, let me go ahead and just show you guys something else that you should be aware of. So I have this amulet right here, which gives us lightning damage, and you're going to notice we're shooting for 249 now. But when we get our amp shot back, you're going to see that we're still getting 408. So keep in mind that if you want to use the full, if you want to use this to its fullest potential, you have to make sure that you're not boosting lightning damage, even though that's our base gun's weapon. You're boosting the frost damage. Now, obviously, you're not going to want to use amp wards with a live wire. You're going to want to use it with very strong one-shot weapons, like the Rain of Arrows, for example. Or, maybe something else. Something that's really good with one-shotting. The live wires, it's a fully auto or a burst SMG. It's not going to be the best for that. Now that we covered the Dusa's Visage and how cool that is, let me go ahead and show you guys some of the synergies. Trying to turn off the calculator. Some of the synergies with Spore Warden and Spellshot. And it's going to be very simple. We're just going to have to refill our ward between shots. And what's one way to do that with Spore Warden? It is this Harbinger. So what you can see is, let's go ahead and equip Barrage. When we activate Barrage, that refills our thing. Oh, I don't have any Barrage stacks. All right, well, the Harbinger doesn't work too well with the Dusa's Visage. It works better with this amp armor on this side. And let me go ahead and show you the synergy with this. Because every time we reload, we get a barrage, which then amps our shots. We get a barrage, which then amps our shots. We get a barrage. You see where this is going? And this is the build I'm working on right now. It's not fully done, so wait for that build video. But alternatively, and that's kind of why Spore Warden's not the best with Dusa's Visage, but let me go ahead and show you guys another synergy that the Spellshot has, and that is Mage Armor. Now, the Dusa's Visage depletes for 25% of your ward, and Mage Armor only brings back 10% of your ward. So every reload... what happened? Oh, by the way, sometimes amp breaks a little bit, and you actually have to damage yourself before it reactivates, as weird as that sounds. Here, let me pull out a weapon. Anyways, so we get our amp, stack a spell weaving, stack a spell weaving, stack a spell weaving, and we get our amp back. Now, that might not seem so crazy on, face value, but there are also these other amp wards, which only drain for 20%, which means every third shot's going to be an amp shot, as well as just the regular recharge delay. By the time you recharge, I've noticed it's every 3 or 4 shots if you're only using Mage Armor, which is still very powerful. That's not something to laugh at, especially with a weapon like this. And, if you're a mage, you're going to be casting your spells too. And, keep in mind, let me put on, I think I have an Ice Spike here with 4 charges. Keep in mind that if you're casting your spells in between, there we go, there's another amp shot. So you don't always just have to spam reload. Obviously, we're out of our spell now. But I think you guys can start to see some of the insane synergies here. So that is the Dusa's Visage and other amp wards in the game. I do also think that this is still, this amp ward, I keep wanting to say shields. I'm just going to say shield, okay? This amp shield on the left, might be a little bit better. You can spam it more with Mage Armor. But the Dusa's Visage, like I said, it turns all of your damage into cryo, which is going to be particularly strong with non-elemental weapons, because you can get elemental bonuses, for example, action skill active frost damage 50%. That doesn't exist for all damage, for example, and the Rain of Arrows isn't going to fully benefit from that. But as soon as you put on this Dusa's Visage, then you can. But alternatively, Dusa's Visage can't get an enchantment by itself. So there is some give and take. There is some options you can use. And another thing I want to point out is it's really awesome that we can reroll infinitely now, enchantments I mean, because it is going to be kind of hard to find a triple amp purple or like a legendary Shamwai with double amp rolls. It is possible, but it's going to be kind of hard to find. And once you do find it, luckily you can re-roll it infinitely until you get the enchantment you want. Anyways, guys, that was a pretty cool video I wanted to show. Shout out to Scholar for telling me to test out the Dusa's Visage. But I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.